We can't expect our gardens to look like show gardens because show gardens are prinked and perfected so that they're absolutely perfect for 2 or 3 days. Because the bugs eat the wood and then the birds eat the bugs, and it's a very happy circle of life.
Welcome back, guys. My name is Buck Whitaker, and today we're going to fix the gardening disasters you didn't even know you were making. You think you're helping your plants, but what if I told you that misting them might be eliminating them? Many gardeners make mistakes without realizing it, like setting up the wrong humidity tray or overusing baking soda. The good news? These errors are easy to fix. Tune in, because we're about to expose the shocking truth behind these 50 Amish gardening tricks you are doing completely wrong. And one of them might be destroying your plants as we speak. 1. Make a pebble tray for more humidity. Got plants that love moisture but don't want to be misting them all day? An easy fix is to make a humidity tray. Grab a shallow dish, arrange an even layer of decorative pebbles, and pour in water until the level is just below the tops of the stones. Set the plant's pot on top, ensuring the bottom does not sit in water to prevent root rot. This method helps increase humidity around the plant without constant misting, making it ideal for tropical species, ferns, and orchids, especially during winter when indoor heating dries out the air. Stay tuned, we'll reveal the hidden danger soon. For best results, clean the tray and pebbles regularly to prevent algae and bacterial buildup. If multiple plants require higher humidity, grouping them together can create a beneficial microclimate. This approach mimics natural growing conditions by increasing localized humidity, which is particularly beneficial in dry climates or in homes with frequent air conditioning or heating. Incorporating a small fan nearby ensures air circulation, reducing the risk of mold or mildew. Experimenting with different tray depths and pebble sizes can help determine the best setup for specific plants. A well-maintained humidity tray can significantly improve plant health and vigor, making it a useful addition to indoor plant care routines. Plants need moisture, but who has time to mist them all day? Here's an easier way. 2. Eggshells for extra calcium. Eggshells are an excellent source of calcium, an essential nutrient for plant growth. Plants such as tomatoes, peppers, and squash require adequate calcium levels to prevent issues like blossom end rot, which causes fruit to develop soft, decayed spots. Instead of discarding eggshells, they can be repurposed as a natural and cost-effective soil amendment. To prepare eggshells for use in the garden, rinse them thoroughly to remove any residue. Once dried, crush them into small pieces and sprinkle them around the base of plants. As they decompose, calcium is gradually released into the soil, enriching it over time. For a faster effect, grind eggshells into a fine powder using a blender or mortar and pestle before mixing them into the soil. Another method involves making eggshell tea by soaking crushed shells in water for 24 hours. This nutrient-infused water can then be used for watering plants, delivering calcium directly to the root zone. Eggshells also have additional benefits, including improving soil aeration and discouraging certain pests. The sharp edges of crushed shells deter slugs and snails, preventing them from reaching tender plant foliage. Adding eggshells to compost bins further enhances the nutrient profile of compost, providing long-term soil enrichment. Don't toss those eggshells. Your plants will love them. 3. Use boiled egg water for a nutrient boost. Water left over from boiling eggs is a valuable source of calcium and minerals. Instead of discarding it, allow it to cool completely and use it to water plants. This practice provides plants with an extra nutrient boost, benefiting calcium-loving varieties such as tomatoes, peppers, and roses. Boiled egg water acts as a mild liquid fertilizer, supplementing soil nutrients naturally. To maximize its effectiveness, ensure the water does not contain added salt or vinegar, as these substances can harm plants. Regular use of this method helps strengthen plant cell walls, promoting healthy growth and increased resistance to environmental stressors. The water from boiling eggs isn't just waste, it's plant food. 4. Fight fungus with baking soda. Baking soda is a well-known remedy for combating fungal diseases in plants. A light application can help prevent and manage powdery mildew, black spot, and other common fungal infections that threaten plant health. This method is particularly useful for cucumbers, roses, zucchini, and other plants susceptible to fungal issues. To create a homemade antifungal spray, mix 1 tablespoon of baking soda with a gallon of water. Adding a few drops of liquid soap helps the solution adhere to plant leaves, increasing effectiveness. 5. Enrich soil with coffee grounds. Do you drink coffee every morning? If so, congratulations. You've got a free source of nitrogen for your garden. Coffee grounds are packed with this essential nutrient and plants love it. Instead of throwing them in the trash, sprinkle used coffee grounds around your plants. They act as a natural fertilizer, improving soil structure and helping plants grow lush and green. Plus, worms absolutely love coffee grounds. And more worms mean better soil. It's a win-win. But here's the thing, used coffee grounds are slightly acidic, which is great for acid-loving plants like blueberries, azaleas, and hydrangeas. However, too much can throw off the pH balance of your soil, so moderation is key. And if you're worried about caffeine affecting your plants, don't be. Most of the caffeine is removed during the brewing process, so your tomatoes won't start jittering like they've had one too many espressos. 6. Save and dry seeds. Before grocery stores and garden centers, people had to save their own seeds. The Amish still do it, and honestly, it's a genius move. The idea is simple. Pick the healthiest, most productive plants and save their seeds for next season. This way, you're naturally selecting the best genetics for your garden. For example, if you grew a tomato plant that produced a ridiculous amount of fruit, save some seeds from that plant. Let them dry completely, store them in a paper envelope, and label them so you don't forget what they are. This method isn't just smart, it saves money too. Why buy seeds every year when you can grow them yourself? Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about growing a plant from a seed you saved with your own hands. 7. Scatter hair for pest control. Yes, you heard that right. Human hair keeps animals like rabbits and deer out of your garden. They hate the scent and will steer clear once they sniff it. If you have long hair and brush it often, just collect the loose strands and scatter them around your plants. If you want to go all out, visit a local barber and ask for a bag of clippings. It might sound weird, but your garden will thank you. Hair also adds nitrogen to the soil as it decomposes. Double win. And if your family members start wondering why you're hoarding hair, just tell them it's an Amish gardening secret. 8. Repel insects with marigolds. Marigolds are like security guards for your garden. They repel pests while looking absolutely stunning. Plant them around your vegetable beds to keep aphids, mosquitoes, and nematodes away. Their scent confuses pests, making it harder for them to find your crops. And here's a bonus. Marigolds attract pollinators like bees and butterflies, which means better fruit and vegetable production. 9. Use leftover tea as fertilizer. Instead of tossing used tea leaves, mix them into your soil. Tea contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and tannins that plants love. Green tea in particular has 4 times more nitrogen than coffee grounds, making it a fantastic natural fertilizer. Just make sure to remove any staples from tea bags before burying them. 10. Mix tiny seeds with cornmeal. Tiny seeds are a nightmare to plant evenly. 1 second, you're sprinkling them gently, and the next, they're all clumped together like kids at recess. Mixing small seeds with cornmeal makes them easier to spread evenly. This simple trick can improve germination rates by up to 30%. Ever had your carrots grow in a tangled mess because the seeds were too close together? Well, this hack will make sure that never happens again. 11. Repel ants with vinegar spray. Ants are the ultimate crashers of the garden party. One moment you're admiring your plants, and the next, a tiny parade of them is making its way through your flower bed like they own the place. It's time to show them they're not on the guest list. The Amish, known for their no-nonsense approach to gardening, have long favored vinegar for keeping pests at bay. White vinegar disrupts the ants' scent trails, making it nearly impossible for them to find their way back to their hideout. It's like scrambling the GPS on a road trip. Just mix equal parts vinegar and water in a spray bottle, then spritz it around problem areas. Be careful not to spray directly on plants though, because vinegar is strong enough to damage leaves. If you've got an anthill nearby, pour a little straight vinegar on it and watch them pack up and leave like they just got evicted. 12. Make manure tea for fertilizer. Before you cringe at the words manure tea, hear us out. The Amish have been using this liquid gold for centuries, And if there's one thing they know, it's how to grow healthy plants without store-bought fertilizers. Manure tea is exactly what it sounds like. It's made by soaking aged manure in water, creating a nutrient-rich solution that plants absolutely love. Just think of it as a power smoothie for your soil. To make it, grab a burlap sack or an old pillowcase, fill it with well-aged manure, cow, horse, or chicken manure works best, and dunk it into a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let it steep for about 3 days, stirring occasionally. Once the water turns a rich brown color, it's ready. Just dilute it before pouring it around your plants. If you can get past the name, your plants will thank you with lush, vibrant growth. Just don't mistake it for your morning tea. 13. Grow potatoes in barrels. If you've ever tried growing potatoes the traditional way, you know it involves a lot of digging, backache, and the occasional surprise when you unearth a spud you forgot you planted. There's a better way, and it's as simple as using a barrel. This method, often used in Amish communities where efficiency is key, turns one barrel into a vertical potato factory. Start by placing seed potatoes near the bottom with a layer of soil. As the plants grow, keep adding more soil until you reach the top. When harvest time comes, just tip over the barrel and collect your potatoes. 14. Practice companion planting. Some plants just belong together like peanut butter and jelly. Others, well, they don't. The Amish, with their deep understanding of natural growing methods, have perfected the art of companion planting. For example, planting basil next to tomatoes not only improves their flavor but also keeps pests away. Marigolds planted near vegetables repel insects. While carrots and onions are best friends, onions confuse carrot flies and carrots return the favor by deterring onion pests. 15. Control weeds with vinegar or bleach. Weeds are the freeloaders of the garden. You didn't invite them, you don't want them, and yet they pop up anyway. Vinegar is a quick, natural way to send them packing. Spray it directly onto weeds on a hot day, and within 24 hours, they'll start to shrivel up. Bleach works too, but it's stronger and sticks around in the soil longer, so use it sparingly. 16. Rub aloe vera on plant cuts. Ever had a plant break a stem and wondered if there was anything you could do to help it heal? Turns out aloe vera, the same thing you use for sunburn, works wonders on plant injuries too. The Amish rely on natural remedies, and aloe vera is a powerful one. It has antibacterial and antifungal properties that protect cut stems from infections, helping them heal faster. Just cut open an aloe leaf, scoop out the gel, and gently rub it onto the damaged area. This trick works especially well for succulents and fragile plants that tend to snap easily. And hey, if you accidentally get a scratch while gardening, go ahead and use a little on yourself too. It's a 2-for-1 deal. 17. Grow cuttings in a potato. Rooting plant cuttings can sometimes feel like a gamble. Will they grow, or will they just sit there looking sad? One way to improve your odds is by using a potato. Yes, a potato. Amish gardeners have been using this trick for ages because it provides moisture, nutrients, and a stable base for new roots to form. Just poke a small hole in a raw potato, stick your cutting inside, and plant the whole thing in the soil. The potato keeps the cutting hydrated while slowly breaking down, feeding the plant as it grows. It's like nature's little nursery for baby plants. And if someone catches you planting potatoes in weird places, just tell them you're experimenting. That always makes you sound like a genius. 18. Collect rainwater for irrigation. Watering your garden doesn't have to mean running up your water bill. The Amish have been collecting rainwater for centuries, and for good reason. It's free, natural, and contains no chemicals like chlorine or fluoride. All you need is a rain barrel placed under your gutter downspout. A single storm can fill up a barrel in no time, giving you gallons of fresh, untreated water for your plants. This is especially handy during dry spells. Instead of watching your plants wilt while the hose sits idle, you'll have a backup supply ready to go. Once you start collecting rainwater, you'll wonder why you ever paid for what nature provides for free. 19. Label everything clearly. If you've ever planted something and later had no idea what it was, welcome to the club. Mystery plants can be fun, but when you're trying to plant a garden, it's better to know what's what. The solution is simple. Label everything. Use wooden stakes, rocks, or even broken terracotta pieces to write the names of your plants. Permanent markers work fine, but if you want it to last, use weatherproof paint. 20. Sprinkle cinnamon on seedlings. Cinnamon is a powerful antifungal agent that protects young seedlings from damping off disease, a sneaky problem that causes them to suddenly collapse and die. A light sprinkle of cinnamon over the soil creates a barrier that keeps fungi in check. It also repels pests like ants and gnats, which is a nice bonus. 21. Use matchsticks in soil for magnesium. Most people use matchsticks to light candles or campfires, but did you know they can also give your plants a much-needed nutrient boost? Wooden matchsticks contain magnesium and sulfur, two minerals that help plants grow strong and healthy. All you have to do is stick 4 or 5 unused wooden matches into the soil around each plant. As they break down, they release nutrients into the soil, acting like tiny, slow-release fertilizer sticks. This trick works especially well for acid-loving plants like tomatoes, peppers, and roses. It's simple, inexpensive, and doesn't require any fancy gardening skills. 22. Sprinkle wood ash on soil for a potassium boost. If you have a fireplace or fire pit, you might be sitting on a secret stash of plant food. Wood ash is packed with potassium and phosphorus, two essential nutrients that help plants develop strong roots and produce more flowers and fruit. The Amish, who waste nothing, have been using wood ash in their gardens for generations. To try it yourself, sprinkle a light dusting of cooled wood ash around your plants, about 1 cup per square yard. Just be careful not to overdo it. Too much can make the soil too alkaline, which some plants won't appreciate. And make sure you're using plain wood ash, not the kind from charcoal briquettes or treated wood. Your plants want nutrients, not chemicals. 23. Grow what you love. Gardening should be enjoyable, not a chore. If you're growing vegetables you don't even like eating, what's the point? The Amish focus on practicality in everything they do, and their gardens are no different. They grow what their families actually eat. Before you plant anything, ask yourself what you love to cook. If you're all about homemade pasta sauce, tomatoes and basil should be at the top of your list. If salads are your thing, grow lettuce, cucumbers, and carrots. This simple mindset shift makes gardening more rewarding. Instead of dreading the work, you'll be excited for the harvest. And nothing beats the taste of homegrown food you actually want to eat, right? 24. Cover pots with plastic bags for humidity. Have you ever struggled to keep plants alive indoors? One reason could be that the air in your home is too dry, especially in the winter. The Amish, who rely on simple and effective methods, often create mini greenhouses using clear plastic bags. Here's how you can do it. After watering your plant, place a clear plastic bag loosely over the pot, making sure it doesn't touch the leaves. This traps moisture and creates a humid environment, which is perfect for tropical plants or seedlings. Make sure to poke a few holes in the bag for airflow. You don't want to turn your plant into a steam-cooked vegetable. This method keeps plants happy and healthy without the need for fancy gadgets. 25. Place ice cubes on soil for slow watering. Ever poured water on a plant only to watch it drain out faster than you can say, well, that was a waste? Some plants, like orchids and succulents, prefer a slow and steady drink rather than a sudden flood. That's where ice cubes come in. Just place 2 or 3 ice cubes on the soil surface and let them melt naturally. This allows the water to soak in gradually, hydrating the roots without overwhelming them. This trick is especially useful for hanging plants or pots with poor drainage. Instead of water pooling at the bottom, the ice cubes ensure an even, controlled release. 26. Place coffee filters in pots to prevent soil loss. If you've ever watered a potted plant and watched soil escape through the drainage holes like it's making a run for it, you're not alone. Luckily, the solution is as simple as grabbing a coffee filter. Before adding soil to a pot, place a coffee filter over the drainage hole. This keeps the dirt in while still allowing excess water to drain properly. It's like a safety net for your soil. The Amish love simple, practical solutions, and this is definitely one of them. Over time, the filter naturally breaks down, but by then your plant's roots will be established and the soil will stay put. No more muddy messes, just happy, well-watered plants. 27. Use pencil shavings as mulch. Next time you sharpen a pencil, don't toss the shavings. Believe it or not, those tiny wood curls can be put to good use in your garden. Pencil shavings act as a natural mulch, helping retain moisture in the soil while keeping pests like gnats and fungus at bay. Cedar wood pencils work best since cedar naturally repels insects. Just sprinkle a small handful of shavings around the base of your plants and they'll break down over time, adding organic matter to the soil. It's recycling at its finest. Plus, your garden will smell like freshly sharpened pencils, which is oddly satisfying. 28. Use onion skins as fertilizer. Onion skins might seem like useless kitchen waste, but they're actually packed with potassium, calcium, and magnesium, nutrients that help plants grow strong and vibrant. Instead of tossing them in the trash, soak the skins in water for 3 days to create a nutrient-rich tea. Then use the water to feed your plants. You can also bury the skins directly in the soil where they'll slowly break down and enrich the earth. The Amish make use of everything, and this is a perfect example of turning scraps into something useful. Who knew onions could do more than just make you cry? 29. Spray vinegar to keep rabbits away. Rabbits might be adorable, but they can wreak havoc on your garden. If you're tired of them treating your plants like an all-you-can-eat buffet, vinegar can help. Soak a few cotton balls in white vinegar and place them around the edges of your garden. Rabbits hate the smell and will steer clear. You can also spray a diluted vinegar solution around your plants. Just be careful not to get it on the leaves. This trick is chemical-free, easy, and effective. No more half-eaten veggies, just happy, untouched plants. 30. Insulate pots with wool socks. You know how you wear thick socks in the winter to keep your feet warm? Well, your plants could use the same treatment. Wrapping potted plants in wool socks helps insulate them from sudden temperature changes. This is especially helpful for outdoor pots in colder months. The wool traps heat, keeping the roots warmer and protecting them from frost. The Amish, who rely on natural materials, have long used wool as an insulator, and it works just as well in the garden as it does on your feet. Simply slip an old wool sock over the base of the pot or wrap the entire container. Your plants will stay cozy even when the temperature drops. And if your neighbors ask why your plants are wearing socks, just tell them they get cold too. 31. Put plants in the bathroom for extra humidity. If you have ever struggled to keep moisture-loving plants happy, your bathroom might just be the perfect home for them. The constant humidity from showers creates a tropical environment that ferns, orchids, and peace lilies absolutely love. Instead of misting your plants every 5 minutes like an overprotective plant parent, just let them enjoy the natural steam from your daily routine. It is an effortless way to keep plants hydrated without any extra work. If your bathroom has a window, even better. Just make sure they are getting enough light. If not, a grow light can do the trick too. 32. Use stale beer to trap slugs. Slugs might love your garden, but they love beer even more. If these slimy intruders are munching on your plants, a simple dish of stale beer can lure them away. Just bury a small bowl or cup in the soil so the rim is level with the ground, then fill it with old beer. Slugs will crawl in, thinking they have found a free drink, but they won't make it back out. This trick is an old-time favorite, even in Amish communities where chemical pesticides are avoided. 33. Add charcoal to terrariums to keep them fresh. Terrariums are like tiny magical worlds in glass containers, but they can start smelling funky if the environment gets too damp. That is where charcoal comes in. The Amish have long used charcoal to purify water and freshen up indoor spaces. In a terrarium, charcoal absorbs excess moisture, filters out impurities, and keeps everything smelling fresh. It is like a natural air purifier for plants. To use it, just sprinkle a thin layer of activated charcoal at the bottom of your terrarium before adding soil. This will prevent mold and bad odors from developing. Your plants will stay healthier and your terrarium will look and smell as fresh as the day you set it up. 34. Use cotton string for biodegradable plant ties. Plants sometimes need a little support, but plastic ties can be too harsh and don't break down over time. Instead, use cotton string as a biodegradable, plant-friendly alternative. Cotton string is soft, won't cut into delicate stems, and naturally decomposes over time, meaning you won't have to worry about retrieving it later. It is especially great for staking tomatoes, training vines, or securing young trees. The Amish, who avoid wasteful materials, often use natural fibers for gardening. This simple switch keeps your plants supported while staying eco-friendly and hassle-free. Plus, no more plastic eyesores in your beautiful garden. 35. Water plants at night in summer. Summer heat can be brutal, and plants feel it just as much as we do. Watering during the day is almost pointless because most of it evaporates before it even reaches the roots. The best solution is to water in the evening when temperatures are cooler. At night, water has time to seep deep into the soil, giving plants the hydration they need without the sun stealing half of it. Just make sure to water the base of the plants, not the leaves, to prevent mold and mildew. 36. Use newspaper to make biodegradable seed pots. Why buy seed trays when you can make your own using something you already have at home? The Amish are big on repurposing materials, and this hack fits right into that philosophy. Newspaper seed pots are not just free, but they are also biodegradable, which means you can plant them directly in the soil when your seedlings are ready. Just roll sheets of newspaper into small cups, fill them with soil, and plant your seeds. As the plants grow, the newspaper will break down naturally, adding organic matter to the soil. It is a simple way to start seeds without plastic waste. 37. Use cloves to repel pests. Bugs might love your garden, but they hate the smell of cloves. If ants, aphids, or even mosquitoes are bothering your plants, a few dried cloves can send them packing. Simply scatter whole cloves around your garden beds or place them in small mesh bags near problem areas. The strong scent confuses pests and makes your plants less inviting. The Amish, who rely on natural pest deterrents, often use cloves and other strong-smelling spices to protect their crops. Best of all, this method is completely chemical-free and safe for pets and plants. 38. Use terracotta pots for slow watering. Keeping plants hydrated without overwatering can be tricky, but terracotta pots can do the job for you. Small unglazed terracotta pots buried in the soil act as natural slow-drip irrigation systems. Simply bury a pot near your plants, leaving the top exposed. Fill it with water, and the porous material will gradually release moisture into the surrounding soil as needed. This method, often used in Amish gardens, ensures deep, even watering without wasting a single drop. Plus, it means less watering for you, making your garden practically take care of itself. 39. Grow seedlings in eggshells. Eggshells are not just good for compost, they also make perfect biodegradable seed pots. Just crack eggs near the top, rinse out the shells, and poke a small hole in the bottom for drainage. Fill each shell with soil, plant your seeds, and watch them grow. When the seedlings are ready to be transplanted, you can plant the whole thing in the ground. The eggshell will break down over time, releasing calcium into the soil. This trick is great for tomatoes, peppers, and other calcium-loving plants. Plus, it is a fun, zero-waste way to give your seedlings a strong start. 40. Use crushed clam or oyster shells for soil enrichment. If you live near the coast or enjoy seafood, your discarded clam and oyster shells can be a secret weapon for your garden. These shells are packed with calcium, which helps prevent blossom end rot in tomatoes and peppers. Crush the shells into small pieces and mix them into the soil or compost. Over time, they break down slowly, releasing minerals that strengthen plant cell walls and improve root growth. The Amish, who often rely on natural soil amendments, use shells in their farming to keep soil healthy. Instead of throwing them away, let your old seafood dinner give back to your garden. 41. Use rice water as a natural fertilizer. Next time you rinse rice before cooking, save the water. That cloudy liquid is full of starch, vitamins, and minerals that plants love. Rice water feeds beneficial bacteria in the soil, boosts plant growth, and provides a gentle nutrient boost. Simply let it cool and use it to water your plants. It is particularly great for houseplants, leafy greens, and flowering plants. Who knew something as simple as rinsing rice could double as plant food? It's a zero-waste hack that turns something you would normally dump down the drain into a secret gardening weapon. 42. Grow mushrooms in used coffee grounds. If you drink coffee every day, you're sitting on a goldmine of mushroom-growing material. Mushrooms love nutrient-rich coffee grounds, making them the perfect growing medium. Pack used coffee grounds into a container, mix in mushroom spores, and keep it in a cool, dark place. In just a few weeks, fresh mushrooms will start sprouting. The Amish are experts at reusing natural materials to cultivate food, and this trick follows that same principle. If you have ever wanted to grow your own mushrooms, this is the easiest way to start. 43. Make a DIY self-watering planter with a water bottle. Ever gone away for a weekend only to return to drooping, thirsty plants? A simple upside-down water bottle can keep them hydrated while you're away. Fill a plastic bottle with water, poke a few tiny holes in the cap, and bury it upside down near your plant's roots. Water will slowly seep out, keeping the soil moist without overwatering. The Amish prefer low-maintenance solutions that work with nature, and this trick does exactly that. No more plant emergencies when you take a short trip. Just set it and forget it. 44. Use burlap sacks to protect plants from frost. A sudden cold snap can wipe out a garden overnight, but a simple burlap sack can save your plants from freezing. Before a frost, gently drape burlap over your plants, securing the edges with stones or stakes. It traps warmth while allowing air circulation, keeping plants safe from frost damage. The Amish, who farm year-round, often use natural fabric coverings to extend growing seasons. Unlike plastic, burlap allows plants to breathe so they stay cozy without suffocating. 45. Use cardboard to stop weeds from growing. Weeds love bare soil, but a simple layer of cardboard can block them before they sprout. Lay flattened cardboard over problem areas, wet it down, and cover it with mulch. It smothers weeds, prevents seeds from germinating, and eventually breaks down into organic matter. No chemicals needed. Plus, it recycles old boxes, making it a win-win for your garden and the environment. 46. Use rope wicks for self-watering plants. If you struggle to keep plants watered while you're away, rope wicks can do the job for you. This trick uses capillary action to slowly transfer water from a reservoir to your plants. Place one end of a cotton rope in a water-filled container and bury the other end in the soil near your plant's roots. The rope will draw moisture up as the plant needs it, keeping the soil evenly moist. 47. Use egg cartons as seed starters. Starting seeds indoors? Forget expensive trays. Egg cartons make perfect biodegradable seed starters. Just fill each cup with soil, plant a seed, and keep them moist. Once the seedlings are strong enough, you can plant the whole carton section directly in the ground. The carton will break down naturally, feeding the soil as the plant grows. The Amish love repurposing everyday materials, and this hack turns something disposable into something useful. Plus, it keeps plastic waste out of the garden. 48. Use milk to prevent powdery mildew. Powdery mildew can turn your plants into a white, dusty mess, but a simple milk spray can stop it before it spreads. Mix 1 part milk with 2 parts water and spray it on affected leaves. The natural enzymes in milk help prevent fungal growth and strengthen plant immunity. This trick has been used for centuries and is a favorite in organic gardening. If your squash or roses keep getting covered in mildew, this cheap and easy fix could save them. 49. Grow sweet potatoes in a water jar. If you have ever wanted to grow your own sweet potatoes, all you need is a potato, a jar, and some water. Stick toothpicks into a sweet potato and suspend it halfway in a jar of water, keeping the bottom submerged. In a few weeks, roots will appear and vines will start growing. Once they are strong, plant them in the soil and watch your sweet potato crop take off. This method has been used for generations and is one of the easiest ways to propagate new plants. Plus, it's fun to watch. 50. Use aluminum foil to reflect sunlight on shade-loving plants. And finally, not all plants thrive in direct sunlight, but sometimes they need a little extra brightness to grow well. A simple trick is placing aluminum foil near plants to bounce sunlight onto them. Cut pieces of foil and position them on the ground around shade-loving plants or on walls near them. It increases light exposure without overheating the plant. The Amish often use natural reflectors to maximize plant growth. If your lettuce or spinach seem weak, a little extra light might be all they need. And that's a wrap on 50 game-changing Amish gardening hacks that will have your plants thriving like never before. From banana peels to coffee filters, who knew simple tricks could make such a huge difference? Now, we want to hear from you. Which hack are you most excited to try? Drop your answer in the comments. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more gardening wisdom. Happy planting, and see you in the next one.